Fan Networking podcast promotes successful business experts. I'm Tom Rioch, known as the King of Networking, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. And today we talk with Ashton Ferrazzo, and he's joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina in the United States. Ashton Ferrazzo is a fitness professional and podcaster who took a massive risk by quitting his lucrative Fortune 100 job during a major economic recession. Started a gym equipment business, and he started selling gym equipment in his backyard. And in just a few months, he doubled that business. So Ashton, how did you grow a business from your backyard to a nationwide company in less than a year?
Hey, thanks for having me on, Tom. Yeah, so I'm the owner of Freedom Fitness Equipment. We started out just very simply as a lot of other entrepreneurial endeavors, as really a side hobby to my main job. So I was in a corporate 9-to-5. I was working in finance at the time and really unhappy. There's a lot of bureaucratic red tape, and I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this can relate. A lot of things I was just unhappy with because of politics and having to play a corporate game that I wasn't really a fan of. Mm-hmm. So I had played around with half a dozen other side hobbies or side jobs or side hustles, as you want to call them, for years, and nothing had ever taken off. And I'd always been into fitness. And so at the time, me and a buddy of mine were lifting, and I decided to start my own home gym because every other gym in the area had shut down.
Because of the pandemic, right?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Because of the pandemic. So I got it's called a Titan T3 rack, which is one of the best squat racks that's on the market, I'd say. It was lime green. I'll never forget it. And it wasn't particularly sturdy. Had to bolt it down to a platform in the back of our house. But I wasn't a huge fan of it, so I ended up selling it, and I think I almost doubled my investment. And at the time, I was like, okay, so maybe there's a market for this here, and of course there was. Mm-hmm. The used fitness equipment market and the new fitness equipment market, for that matter, were just blowing up at the time. So I started buying and selling equipment, flipping lots of items and refurbishing equipment, and so we grew that business, side hustle, from my backyard to a fully built out shed to a temporary carport, and then a pod that we had to have on site. And at that point we had so much stuff at the house. I was getting so uneasy we had probably 10, 20 people a day coming out to our home. I was really uneasy about that happening. Right. At the same time, I was, working for this finance company, and they were laying off a bunch of people. Now, they didn't call it a layoff. They offered packages for people to leave. But they offered it to huge
the English call that become redundant. I think that's a nice way of saying you're done, but it's redundant.
Exactly. It was really a cost reduction, and it was, obviously it was all volunteer, but I think all my team left, and I was not sure about this. I didn't know if this would be successful long term. I didn't think that, hey, during a recession this is a good time to start a business. But we did some experimenting. So for about 6 months we ran this business. It crushed, and so but I told myself, okay, yes, it's crushing now, but it's COVID. It's an unprecedented time. Mm-hmm. We need something as evidence that this is going to be successful. Right. So I looked at a few other businesses that were doing the same thing. There's a couple others in the area. I interviewed one of the owners, and they started their business during the 2008 recession and mm-hmm. killed it because people were looking for used gym equipment at a great deal and a bargain, because nobody wanted to buy new. It's the same way with every recession. So I took that and I said, hey, this can be very successful. We launched 6 months after we were offered that package to leave, and the side hobby became a full-blown business officially in July of 2020, but really left my full-time job in November of 2020. That wasn't like the end of the story. It's not like it just was able to take off organically. I really had to grind and make it grow. Mm-hmm. And one of the reason why we were successful is because we became a nationwide entity almost right out of the gate. I figured out the shipping and freight portion of this early on, which I found out early, not a lot of other entrepreneurs are able to do that because they just don't have the resources. So,
I think that's an essential part, because some of your equipment, it's not something you put in a drawer, and
Right.
you don't send it in an envelope, right?
Exactly.
Talking about trucks or something.
Yep.
So it's really logistics in the sense.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, the average, I'd say looking around the warehouse here, the average weight of any given item is anywhere from 300 to 600 pounds minimum. If you're talking about any generic strength or cardio piece, which means that you need to ship it via freight, which is on a pallet.
Right. We're talking about weights. The weights are weight.
Exactly.
Nowhere.
You can put, weight plates and small stuff in boxes, but even then it can tear open. So, early on, I found out there's a network. I've talked about this on a couple other podcasts, but there's a network called UShip and also a network called Shipley, which is basically aggregating a bunch of shippers that run around the U.S. and have extra space in their loads to take stuff for very inexpensively anywhere. So at that point, we had created a website, and I put on the website, call me if you want a quote for shipping. We would then identify a shipper, pair the client with the shipper, and send it out to them. So we send out stuff as far as California. And within the first 6 months of starting the business, I had started that process where I would take take an item, knew somebody in California needed it, hook them up with a shipper, and send it on its way. It was very manual.
Right.
It wasn't automated like we have now, but it was a great way to get the business.
Well, you learn each step of the process, literally, right?
Yep, exactly. So that was the start of us being a nationwide brand, and I still have people all over the U.S. that are calling us for our equipment, and then we ship out on an almost daily, if not weekly basis, stuff from our warehouse and get that out. But that was the start of us being nationwide, and the long-term goal.
Are most of your clients or customers today, are they individuals? I see you also offer packages to somebody wanting to start up a gym.
Yeah, for sure. So early on, we didn't have the option to outfit entire commercial gyms, but now we do. So early on, it was personal training studios, home gyms, that kind of thing. And as the business grew, we got a lot more gym owners calling us and asking for, I need a bunch of stuff. I need 10 different items. I'm starting a gym. What can you help with? We just outfitted a training studio down the road, for example, and we're working on a couple of other big projects, which we'll announce on social media once those are done.
Well, now, anyway, the post-pandemic, is that the driver back to gyms?
Yeah. It's funny. I thought,
because what I'm seeing here, people want to be with people. They can go in their back room and lift weights, but that doesn't seem to be a whole lot of fun when they look into a TV or a monitor or something.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but there's two things that are driving that. One is the pandemic taught people that having a home gym saves you an inordinate amount of time. So the hours that you're spending commuting can now be translated back into time with family. The effort that you're expending, not only driving to and from work, getting changed, going back out to the gym, taking a shower, getting your nutrition, like that can all now be done at home.
But again, you need a home that has space.
That's true.
Many people in today, the minimalist society, there's no more room. There's no more space.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, a lot of people started working from home and then figured out they can make any space work. So I can outfit, quote unquote, a home gym that's in a 10 by 10 room or a 5 by 10 room, because really all you need is a set of resistance bands to get started. You really don't need anything else than that. And you can call that a home gym. Some people wouldn't, but to me, that's a home gym. You've got, something as small as a set of adjustable dumbbells. And a lot of these apartments, like you said, just don't have room. So people are working with like a barbell and plates in their bedroom, but it works. It worked. You can just,
and that's a client for you.
Yeah, exactly. So it depends on the space, but I've told everybody, a home gym is not necessarily defined by the space that you're in. You can make anything work.
Right.
It's just a matter of what exactly you want, what your training style is. But yeah, it's a great point. I mean, not everybody has a huge amount of space.
Well, that's good, Ashton. Well, thanks for being here. But how can our audience find you?
Yeah. So we're at freedomfitnessequipment.com and then Freedom Fitness Equipment on social media. So TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, you name it. We're all over the place. And just talking earlier, we had a video go viral on TikTok that was really exciting for fire departments. But yeah, we're trying to reach that audience a little bit more with our business. And if you guys have any questions about fitness or health related to that, I'd love to help out.
Well, I see, and one of the things is that you help actually design. So you're giving tips, being a homeowner or somebody in a one-room whatever to starting a company. So you also offer that service.
We do. Yeah, we design. We actually we've designed a bunch of different gyms, but it doesn't matter the space. Like we'll reach out to fire departments that, like I said, have a 10 by 10, 10 by 20 area. We'll pack as much as we can in. There's ways to make it happen. So we love doing that for people.
Very good. Well, sounds exciting, right? You never stop, huh?
Exactly.
Well, and I think that's the point. And to our listeners, to start a business, you just need to start.
Yep. That's true. Yeah. And a lot of entrepreneurs are afraid of trying different things.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to, like me, you have to try 6 different things and fail on all of them before you find the thing that hits. It took a while for me to get there, but you can.
Well, success. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks
absolutely.
for being part today.
Thank you.
All right. And to our listeners, it's Ashton Ferrazzo. It's Ashton. The last name is Ferrazzo. And the company is freedomfitnessequipment.com. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at www.focusmi.com. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.